Well, good morning, all. It is 9 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order on October 1st, 2025. Rise as you're able, and we'll sing the national anthem.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Councillor Shipston is on the docket to say the land acknowledgement this morning. Martin?
Thank you, Brian. As we gather, we recognize and acknowledge the traditional keepers of this land with whom we share today. The Township of Southgate is a part of the traditional territories of the Nishnabak, Six Nations of the Grand River, Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, the Haudenosaunee, and Saugeen Métis. The land that surrounds us is part of who we are as it reflects our histories. May we live in peace and friendship with all its diverse people.
Thank you, Martin. I don't believe there's anybody registered for open forum, Madam Clerk.
None today, Mayor Milne.
Okay, thank you very much. Confirmation of the agenda. Someone care to move that? Jim and Joan. Any discussion? All those in favor? That is carried. Oh, there you are. Welcome, Monica. Is there any declaration of interest this morning to relate it to any item on today's agenda? Not seeing any. If one should arise at any, you can declare it at any time. Delegations and presentations. I don't believe we have any, Madam Clerk. No. Okay. Adoption of the minutes of the September 17th, 2025 council meeting. Barb and Jason, any discussion? All those in favor? That is carried. Moving on to reports of municipal officers. First, we have emergency services. Chief Malnick was with us here this morning to talk about a report about establishing and regulating a bylaw update. Chief Malnick, welcome. The floor is yours, sir.
Good morning, everyone, members of council.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Just before you start, I need a mover and seconder. Jim and Barb, thank you. There we go.
Okay, so we have an update to the ENR bylaw. As council is aware, the ENR bylaw is the bylaw which establishes the levels of service of the fire department by council. So we're supposed to regularly update our bylaw. Staff's been waiting for the mandatory certification to level out, as well as our contract with Hanover, so then we could identify them in our ENR bylaw as well. So what we have before us is the updated ENR bylaw. Some highlights of the changes will be in the actual bylaw itself. We've updated the department structure to reflect the current department's organization and structure, including the removal of the fire advisory committee, as that is no longer an active thing. Also, we've updated to align with Southgate's current hiring and progressive disciplinary policies. So we're straight across the board. The fire department doesn't do something different than the township. And then when we get into our schedules, Schedule A was updated. That's the org chart to reflect the current structure of the fire department as it sits today. Schedule B, which is our current levels of service, we've updated. One of the main things we updated was NFPA standards. So they update their own standards every 4 to 5 years, and they're going through a big push right now of trying to consolidate all these standards. So having 5 standards turn into 1 standard. So we needed to go through an update to match and to reflect the current standards of NFPA. So that was a task on itself. But also for our core levels of services. So the things that you'll see updated from the previous one is in medical response. We've actually indicated our level of service, which is BLS. Vehicle accidents, we've added a portion in there to allow us to do traffic control. Beforehand, it wasn't identified in there, so that was a thing that we normally do as we're required to do it to provide scene control and safety. But we just wanted to identify it in our ENR bylaw. All of our water and rope rescues, we are down to awareness level, but we've reflected our contract with Hanover in there, as you guys have seen in this previous council report. Industrial and machine rescue, we've had to up that to tech rescue. So when looking at the actual standard for industrial and machine rescue, anytime you are evacuating personnel from an elevator cart, that is tech rescue. So we do have elevators in Dundalk. We've had to do the training for it at the 4-story building, but there's also lifts at the arena at the Grey County Housing. So for us to be able to pull patients out of that, we have to be at tech level. So we are trained, we are compliant with that currently. Wilderness rescue. So we are awareness, but we've actually added in the use of our UTV and our drone. So these are things that we never had in 2019. Well, we had the UTV, but it was never identified in our ENR bylaw. So we're identifying that we are using it for that, but also that we're using drone to assist finding people in the wilderness. Hazmat has been updated from awareness to ops. Because of mandatory certification, every single firefighter to be at a structure fire must have hazmat ops. Just makes sense that we identify that we are going to be doing hazmat ops, such as that's containing a diesel spill from a truck. It's nothing crazy, but it's allowing us to do stuff that we normally do. So that was the major changes in Schedule B for levels of service. And I know council has asked in the past to bring back a report regarding levels of service and what it will cost to get into different tech rescues. So right now with this, we're just matching what we're currently doing, but then we can change that as time goes on at council's discretion. So there still will be a report that comes back talking about the levels of service and what it would cost to upgrade. And then in Schedule C, this was updated to align with Southgate policies. Again, like I stated before, the hiring policy, as well as our Employment Standards Act. This also covers the leave of absences, any progressive disciplinary actions. And then Schedule D, which is talking about different positions of the firefighting of our department. That was updated to align positions with the mandatory certification requirements. So to be an officer, to be a captain, you must have NFPA 1021 level 1 and an NFPA 1041 level 1. That is requirements of the province. So we just aligned that to match it. And those are the highlights of the changes. Everything else is same template that we used. Hopefully that answers some questions.
I
But I'm willing to
expect it
take
likely
anything.
will. It might generate some questions, but I do want to commend you and your department on your efforts to stay compliant and serve the community the best that you can. It's no small effort to keep that training to a level that is needed by the province. So congratulations on that, and congratulations also on your accreditation for, I call it hauling water, but I'm sure there's a technical word for it, but congratulations on that. Did you want to make a comment on that, how that went?
Absolutely. Thank you. So that went well. We were able to reach the commercial rate. As just before council arrived here, I had a phone call with our third-party tester who said they're hoping to get us the certificate by Friday, which would make us able to put it on our website for next week. And then residents from there can then take that certificate and provide it to their insurance companies. Any private dwelling within 8 kilometers of the fire hall by road travel without a municipal hydrant in their area will receive the same rating as if they did have a municipal hydrant. And any commercial business within 5 kilometers of the fire hall outside of the hydrant area will also receive a rebate as if they were in the hydrant area. That is for Southgate. That is also for portions of Melancthon that we cover as well, and Grey Highlands.
Well, excellent. Congratulations on
Thank
that, but I don't want to say that it does me the square root of nothing, but but congratulations nonetheless. Any questions from council? Joan, please. An arm wrestle for it if you want.
Mayor, Derek, could you tell me what is the 1021 and the 1041? I'm not too sure what that means.
So 1021 and 1041 are NFPA standards. So it's the code that goes along with the standard. So 1021 is the standard for professional officers in firefighting. And then 1041 is the level of certification for instructors. So fire instructors. So as each training session goes, they get a different NFPA code assigned to it. And that's what you will get a certificate if you achieve that level, that you are compliant or you are trained to NFPA 1021, 1041 standard. Firefighter is 1001. So
Thank you very much.
no problem.
Monica, I see your hands up. Go ahead, please.
Hi there, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much to the chief. Just wanted to echo the earlier comment and thanking staff for keeping the current bylaw with provincial standards and our training levels. It's important for residents to know that our fire services remain compliant, professional, and aligned with best practices. And I'm definitely supportive of these updates. And if there's anything that the current fire station requires, I was just going to ask the chief, when would we be able to know, basically if the fire department needs anything additional to continue the great work?
For the mayor, well, we can talk about that at budget time. When budget comes up there, we'll be proposing some new equipment. But we are quite successful with what the township and council has granted us so far to do our jobs. So thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, chief. Any other? Oh, Martin, go ahead, please.
Yeah, first thing, Derek, thank you for answering that question about attachment C that I had. That was good. Just wondering with all the training that you're doing, what's the complement now?
Current complement of firefighters are 22 firefighters on staff. We are hiring right now. We are mostly targeting shift workers, and with that, to keep our numbers up and to meet training, we are also looking at increasing our training to offer it during the daytime hours as well for shift workers.
Okay, great.
Okay, any other questions? Not seeing any. I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, Derek. Moving on to economic development. We have Brenna here this morning. She's got 3 reports related to CIP applications. And the first one is a application revocation for Full Throttle Motor Speedway. Someone care to move that, please? Martin moves, Barb seconds. Brenna, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good morning, council. This report is regarding a grant that we formerly approved for Full Throttle Motor Speedway to rebuild their grandstands of $12,000 for structural repairs to rehabilitate both the foundations and the stands themselves. If you remember, this was passed on January 15th of this year, and there was a condition that the property owner zone and resever the property to make it so that it was all in line with, the business needs. However, we're suggesting that it be revoked because the property owner didn't come and sign the agreement, which most property owners have to sign beforehand, and then has not continued with the planning applications to make the zoning compliant. And so we're suggesting that we revoke this. We do, in that agreement, it did highlight that the property owner had 8 months to complete the project. And so 8 months would have been September 15th. And though sometimes we are flexible based on, sometimes there's supplier issues for businesses, just seeing as this business never signed, they didn't carry through with the other conditions. We're recommending that council revoke the $12,000 allocation. So it's a reimbursement. So the property owner did not receive the funding. So this funding will just be reallocated if council approves this report today.
Very good. Thank you, Brenna. Questions, Barb?
Thank you and good morning. Through you, Brenna, it doesn't mean that they can't reapply in the future. So thank you. I see you nodding. The other question that I had was, did we confirm that they didn't build the grandstand?
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, so I did inform the property owner that though we were going to revoke the application, we were, recommending that council revoke the application. They were informed that they are able to apply again in future for other aspects of the grant. They did not come to get a building permit for the grandstands. And so we can conclude that they weren't built, or they weren't built according to, what our policies are. So definitely no.
Okay. Any other question? Martin, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. Brenna, just jumping on that they can reapply. Is that, so if they applied in 2025, they can't apply again in that year, or is it calendar year, or do they can carry on 2026? Like there's a ruling that way? No?
We just have it in our plan that business owners can apply multiple times. There's no restraints as to how many times per year they can apply. So they could apply again for this project or for another project this year even.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. The next report is regarding a application to the CIP program from Southgate Eye Care, the new business one of the new businesses on the main street there in Dundalk. Someone care to move? Barb will move. Second by Joan. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Yes, this is just a simple application. This property owner did already utilize another stream of the grant to create a beautiful ramp up into their building so they can be open for clients, which is wonderful. Yes, they're just applying for the signage stream of the grant to have obviously a sign put on their building.
Very good. Any questions? Not seeing any, I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Joan, sorry, did you have a question? Sorry, I didn't see your hand. Go ahead.
Good morning again. Brenna, are they having an opening, like a grand opening, or are they already open and in business?
Thank you for your question, Councillor John. From my understanding, they have started to accept see clients in the building, but I have not been notified about a grand opening, but they are welcome to do that. That'd be awesome. I think they might be waiting till their sign is up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is that your?
That's exactly.
Very good. All right. Martin, go ahead. Sure.
Yeah, just commenting on having a grand opening for with their office up in Markdale. It is such a good fit for the downtown, and she's very involved in the downtown. And when they first opened up in Markdale, she actually started a program for to come and see the doctor for the kindergarten kids, because there was nothing in there for opticians at all. And she opened up to the school. So it's going to be a good thing for the community with her there, for sure.
Yeah, I can see that she's doing a good job. Yeah. Tough crowd. Tough
And I
crowd.
would say that the business owner did say she needed the sign for visibility. So that's
So people could see her?
exactly.
Yeah, right, exactly, of course. All right. I'm for that. You could be here all day. Okay, moving on to the next report. It is another CIP application from Country Automotives. This is exciting to see. It's not a new business, but it's a new location for this business on the main street of town. So congratulations to them for that. But I need a mover and seconder for Joan, and Jim will second that.
Okay.
Thank you again. Yeah, we're happy that the businesses are utilizing this fund, and Obviously, this is for the paving of their front driveway there at their location at 92 Main Street West. So they'd be maxing out on that stream of the grant at $3,500. And obviously, this is conditional on the successful sale of the property, which closes today.
Very good. Thank you, Brenna. Any questions? Martin?
Brenna, they had another application before. That was definitely for the signage for the property on Highway 10. So they can take that with them and all that. So it's money well spent both times. Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Martin. Monica, did I hear you had a question or?
I was just seconding it.
Okay, all right, sorry.
Thank you. And through you, Brenna, businesses are starting to take us up on the community improvement plan. And it's exciting to see a Highway 10 commercial business move to the downtown. That is definitely a good sign. We'll keep our fingers crossed that everything goes through, but very exciting, and the fact that they'll be able to expand.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barb. Any further questions? Not seeing any. I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, Brenna. Moving on to the Finance Department. Taylor has it's almost like a bank. It's almost like Christmas. Anyway, Taylor has a report here regarding an additional grant request. Someone care to move that, please?
I can move it.
Jim, okay. Monica will move. Jim will second. Taylor, welcome.
Good morning and thank you. I had an additional request for the grant funding from the Sustainability Project to fund a Grey Bruce conference for the youth of the Grey Bruce community. They did request $500. We have 150 left of our budget amount, so that is what I'm suggesting council approve, but I'm open to questions and if there's any changes to that.
Okay, thank you, Taylor. Are there any questions from council? Go ahead, Barb.
Thank you. And I know that this came in last year and we were supportive. We were hoping to get more information about who actually from Southgate participated and who is registered. Like, are they expanding their reach from, the High Point School to include Holstein? Hoping that information comes back. Maybe we can express to them the importance of getting their application in as they were advised last year for the December 1st deadline, so that they are at the front of the line instead of the back of the line. But yeah, it's a great conference.
Just on their application, it does say they're including the Egremont School, just as a point there, but it says Dundalk, Proton, High Point, and Egremont.
Very good. Any other questions? Not seeing any. I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. The next report is regarding the debentures from Infrastructure Ontario regarding Victoria Street rehabilitation and the Dundalk Water Tower projects. Someone care to move that, please? Barb and Jim. Taylor?
Okay, thank you again. So we're reaching the end of our Infrastructure Ontario application. Finally, it's been a lengthy process and this has kind of been the culmination of my maternity leave. So I'm happy to see this coming to an end. As you can see in the rate tables I added for the 10-year debenture, we got 3.61 as a rate. And then for the 20-year debenture on the water tower, the rate we were given was 4.29. Just something I wanted to note to council, that if we don't accept this today and give it back to Infrastructure Ontario, we will be fined for that. I'm not sure the exact amount, but I just wanted to make that clear that that is what they are instituting.
Thank you, Taylor. Any questions from council? Monica?
Hi, thank you. Just through you, Chair, and welcome back again, Taylor. Great to have you. Just with regards to the debenture, these definitely represent critical investments in Southgate's infrastructure. The Victoria Street rehabilitation and Dundalk Water Tower are projects that directly support growth, safety, and service delivery for our residents. So moving to Infrastructure Ontario financing also secures us more stable long-term rates which is important for responsible fiscal planning. So my question would be, can staff confirm whether these debt commitments remain within our annual repayment limit and whether we have sufficient flexibility to manage any further infrastructure borrowing that may arise?
Thank you for your question. So we are still within our annual repayment limit. I did outline that in the 2025 budget that we were well within that. And I do have a note in my report under internal policy and legislative requirements where we are at currently with the balance of our ARL. And after we take on this debt, we will have $2.6 million left of an
Thank you.
annual repayment limit. So not just a debt load, but that would be the payment limit that we could take on per year.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Barb?
Thank you. And through you, Taylor, again, we're happy to see you back full-time now. That's great. I recall when this was all being developed, we needed to take a loan for these while we completed our audits, and then we would be eligible for Infrastructure Ontario, and there would be a significant or a savings regardless. The bottom line is that these are better rates than we can get at the bank or that we currently have with the bank.
So our current rate with CIBC is 4.39. And if you see the 20-year one, it's 4.29. So it's not all that different, but this is because that is a 20-year loan versus a 10-year loan. So there's going to be differences there. I would think there's probably always going to be savings with Infrastructure Ontario. I just don't know that the gap is as big as what a lot of people think it might be.
Yeah, go ahead.
And just a follow-up, is there a penalty for moving from the CIBC?
I believe there will be. So I've reached out to CIBC and I just haven't heard back from our representative. I'm hoping that we can pay it off once we receive these loans, just pending what the penalties might be on that.
Because I do recall that while it was a 10-year loan, it was renewable at annual renewal dates.
Yes.
So hopefully there isn't a penalty because the whole idea of shifting to Infrastructure Ontario is to save interest.
Well, the renewal date would be December 15th. So I believe, as with normal banks, they would give you a penalty prior to that.
For 2 months.
So we'll just have to see what the math works out on, but I am looking into it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Martin? And then Joan.
Taylor, in your report with the internal policy and legislative requirements, you mentioned the ARL. It says Southgate's, because of the municipal affairs and housing people, Southgate's 2025 annual repayment limit is $3,105,000. Does that imply 2026 could be higher or lower because of what we pay? Like, how does that work? Or is it constant?
Well, it's a function of our revenue. So as our revenue goes up, that annual repayment limit goes up. But also as our debt load goes up, the gap comes down. So it's kind of a balancing act there. I do believe if we plan to take on more debt, then that gap will get smaller and smaller. And then obviously these loans are long term, so they won't be able to drop off for 10 and 20 years.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Martin. Joan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's not a question, Taylor, just a comment. I do understand the fragility of timelines and deadlines. So I just want to thank you for bringing that up and reiterating, because I can tell you, no pun intended, I just know what those deadlines are like.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Okay, any other questions? Not seeing any. I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, Taylor. Legislative Services regarding the library board member appointment the clerk is going to be giving that report. So I need a mover and seconder. Martin, second by Joan. Lindsay, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor Milne, through you. This is to recommend appointment of a new member on the Southgate Public Library Board. We actually, staff were happy with the response we got to the call for applications. So that was really encouraging. We actually had to do an interview process this time, and which we haven't had to do in quite a few years now, just due to the number of applicants. So that was very encouraging. So we are recommending the appointment of Nicole Richardson to the Public Library Board. And then you will note, I'll speak to it now. It's a bit out of turn, but you'll note that I do have another report on consent about another vacancy. So that unfortunately we have another one, but we'll follow the same process for advertising and appointment.
Very good. And it's good to see that there's a competition for positions. It shows the community's engaged and wants to participate. Martin, you have a question?
No, not a question. Just thanks to Jim and Lindsay and Lacey for being on that. I chaired the meeting last week, and I have to say Lacey was very happy with the choice. But the good thing is what we just stated about how many people, the other two were just as qualified. I think it came down to a couple of just little things to tip it over. So it was good. She was very happy. So.
Okay. Any other questions? Not seeing any. I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, Lindsay. Moving on to the Human Resources Department. Kayla is here this morning with a report regarding council remuneration review. Someone care to move that, please? Barb, second by Joan. Kayla, welcome.
Thank you. We are bringing this report forward to council with, because our 4 years is coming up on our policy. It says every 4 years, we review our council remuneration. So staff would like to present options for council on how we go about doing this in order for us to be able to put it in our budget, as well as plan in our work plans, how we're going to get this done.
Very good. Thank you, Kayla. Questions? Barb?
Thank you. And through you, I fully support option one. Why recreate the wheel, reinvent the wheel? We have municipalities within our reach that have done remuneration analysis recently. So I think that's great. And thank you, Kayla. My question was if we felt there was any gaps or criteria that expanding that reach to our neighbors to the south, that could be done.
Yes, thank you through the mayor. Absolutely, we can reach out to others if we feel that there's a comparator that we should be using that's not on our existing list that we have access to. In our previous experience, other municipalities are very willing to share their information, so I don't anticipate that being an issue.
Yep, go ahead.
And I know that early in our term, it was suggested that we, in our budget process, that we look at council benefits, OMERS. Those parameters or criteria are included in the analysis that you've already obtained?
Yes, that information is there.
Very good. Any other questions? Not seeing any. I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, Kayla. Any notice of motion? Oh, not seeing any. They have the consent agenda there. Is there any of those items that require to be removed for further discussion?
Yes.
Oh, Monica, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just with regards to the 3 reports, I was going to be just speaking to updates since we have those 3 SMART reports, and then I was going to be looking at an item 11.1 on the OPP annual report that was provided, and the recent minutes. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me at the moment. So I just wanted to have basically the OPP report and the SMART. Now, I don't know if I need the SMART consent items pulled or not. I'm just going to be just speaking on to some of the highlights that I feel is relevant, so I can maybe be directed on what I should do.
Okay, just a minute. And we'll confer with the clerk here. Madam Clerk.
Yeah, through you, Mayor Milne. So I believe, Monica, you'll want to pull 11.3, which is the SMART annual report, to be able to speak to it. And then 11.10, the Grey Bruce OPP report, so you can speak to it.
Thank you,
Is that
clerk.
correct?
Yes. And the clerk was helping me a bit earlier and she's helping me again. So thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you. So 11:03 and 11:10. Any other requests to have any reports removed? No? Okay. So the motion be it resolved that be it resolved that council receive the consent agenda dated today, save and accept items 11:03 and 11:10 for information. Someone care to move that, please? And Jim? All those in favor? That is carried. Okay, 11:03. Monica, you wish to discuss that one? Go ahead. Oh, I need a mover. Will you move that one first?
Yes, I think
Yes.
so.
Second? Joan?
The recommendation.
The recommendation is to receive, or did you want to do something different with it?
Yeah, to receive.
Joan will second. Very good. Go ahead, Monica.
Thank you, Chair. So as Southgate representative on the Smart Board, I'd just like to highlight a few key updates, especially since we're entering into October. Very interesting enough, time is flying. There's been a number of updates I thought would be interest. So when we're looking at the ridership growth, Smart has delivered over 28,000 rides last year, which is 11% increase over 2023. So what that means for Southgate is ridership has more than doubled. So it is showing just how much our residents are dependent on the service. When looking at investments in accessibility, Smart has added 2 new 7-passenger vans last year, and this year receive 2 more, along with 8 wheelchair accessible minivans, all supported by federal grants. So this is a clear investment in rural accessibility and in our dignity to our residents. When we're taking a look at financial stability, the organization remains sound with a balanced approach of municipal contributions and user fees. Southgate's contribution in 2025 was just under $30,000, reflecting our shared responsibility in ensuring mobility for all. And just 2 more quick points, which I thought would be of interest, is there's an integration study happening, which I find to be quite important. So Smart is participating in a regional study with the home and community support services to integrate dispatch software. While that may sound technical, the goal is very practical, pretty much to reduce duplication and cut down on deadhead kilometers and begin moving toward a more coordinated rural transit model, one that functions more like public transit while it's still meeting accessibility needs. So we're going to soon find out more information about the results of this study, and I can't wait to share that with everyone. With regards to a future pilot, Smart is also exploring a pilot in Kincardine for evening and Saturday rides. Oh, sorry, excuse me, rather Sunday rides for those with physical and mental challenges, which could serve as a model for other municipalities in the future. So for Southgate, this means more for residents being served, fewer barriers for seniors and those with disabilities, and strong voice rather at the regional table as rural mobility continues to evolve. So there was a number of those. I would encourage everyone who is interested to take a look at their reports. There's quite a significant amount of things happening.
Thank you, Monica. Any other questions from council regarding that? I had a question, Monica, and I guess I have this question every year. Looking at the summary, the ridership statistic summary for 2024, I see Southgate has a total ride number of 1,092. Is that 1,092 rides, or is it 1,092 riders?
So is it 92 riders, and what was the other one? The first one?
Is it 1,092 rides, or is it 1,092 riders? Do
I
they
would-
track them?
Yeah, they do track that, and I will double check, but I am thinking that this is rides, but I will confirm.
So it's not 1,092 rides by one person.
No,
That's my point. It's how many people are actually using the service as opposed to how many rides.
okay. I'm gonna clarify that. I will clarify
Okay.
that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on that one? Not seeing any. I'll call the question to receive it. All those in favor? That is carried. Moving on to 11.10, the OPP Detachment Board Annual Report. Monica, you wanted to pull that one. Will you move to receive that?
Yes,
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Martin? Go ahead, Monica.
Thank you,
please.
Chair. Thank you, Chair. Again, the Grey Bruce, Ontario Provincial Police Report, does show progress in the areas, for resident care, about most crimes, roads, and, community well-being. I just thought that it would be, important to pull that. Just give me one quick moment here. Yeah, so I was trying to find my more shorter version. We have a lot of movement that are happening since our board has started to meet. As a representative for Southgate, I've been raising a lot of the issues that our residents have had and working closely. We did have Crime Stoppers that did stop by at our last meeting, which was very important. Also, I just wanted to touch on the partnership with Bright Shores Health System and the Mobile Crisis Response Team. Is diverting mental health and addiction calls to the right supports, and Youth in Policing Initiative is building positive relationships with young people. The detachment also expanded visible patrols on foot, bicycle, marine, and off-road, which matters in rural communities like Southgate. I also wanted to highlight something that was of a great importance, in an area of very local concern regarding the horse and buggy safety on our rural roads. So Mayor Paul McQueen for Grey Highlands, he did bring forward a motion at our last police service board meeting, which passed, calling for stronger support and visibility of horse and buggy road safety. So here in Southgate, we already have our educational booklet that I confirmed with our CAO earlier today that he actually put together back in 2019, and they do regularly look to review those. So that's a really great resource. I'm so happy to find that there. And in light of the recent devastating accidents and increasing traffic, I do believe this is an important time to revisit those materials that were last updated and how they are being distributed now. Just aligning with Southgate's effort with the regional motion to shows leadership and respect for all users on the road. I know we all heard about the devastating crash that happened earlier this year and a few last year, and I'm sure there was some in between. So just wanted to make mention of that because I know that there's a lot of discussions happening around making sure the horse and buggy and the increased traffic and population, that there is that material there that can be circulated. And I just wanted to, give a shout out to Paul Merrick McQueen for bringing that forward.
Okay, thank you, Monica. Any questions on that? Barb?
Thank you, and through you to our representative, Councillor Singh Soares. I've been listening to the board meetings and was curious why we hadn't seen the minutes up till now, but I'm glad to see that they're coming through. I do have a question, since you mentioned Crime Stoppers, having listened to the meeting last week. I'm curious as to how the Grey Bruce OPP Detachment Board has a reserve of $35,000. And since that is a municipal, that is made up of municipal contributions, I thought that the terms of reference would have those funds earmarked for operational, administrative expense, remuneration, and conferences. I wasn't aware that the board had discretion on donating those to nonprofit organizations like Crime Stoppers. I know that the board confirmed or approved $5,000 to be donated this year for 2025 and are going to be considering it in their budget for 2026. Monica, can you speak to the discretion that the board has in allocating those funds when they are municipal contributions? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Just through you, Chair, I'm very happy to hear that you are definitely listening in on the meetings and keeping yourself abreast on what's happening there. This is definitely a good way that, since you are listening to the meetings, more than welcome if you could send that question to me, because there's a lot to unpack in there. So I'll be able to verify. We are a newer board. Our staff at Georgian Bluffs are working very hard to make sure that they do get the minutes out in time. And they've been dealing with a lot of things to make sure we are all trained up, making sure terms of reference are up to date, and ensuring that the minutes get out. So I did speak to the CAO and clerk directly at Georgian Bluffs regarding about the minutes, and it did come up. So that's why you see those on the consent item there. And we also want to make sure that all the information is verified and updated before we bring it to council. So I too was very happy to see that was brought Now, with regards to the nonprofit and the $5,000 that was allocated and passed by the board, I would definitely be able to confirm that with you. So I do kindly ask the question you just had, if you could send that to me along with a SMART question, and for the police board question, I'll be able to provide a response to you after I confirm further details.
So through you, then I'm just wondering if we could amend the motion to just so that we can have a timeline on when. Lindsay, have you already contacted Jody about? No?
No, I was waiting for this conversation first because I wasn't sure if we'd have the information today or not.
Do you believe that direction is required for staff to follow
I
up
don't think
or?
so. Well, Counselor Singh Soares, you said you were speaking to them first.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think we'll leave it with Counselor Singh Soares first, and then she can provide an update, and then if not, I can reach out.
Super.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and just to that point, Jody is extremely responsive, and she's very great to get back. So I'm sure that we'll be able to get a response for that shortly.
Thank you. Any other questions? One question I have for you, Monica, is the statistics that are shown in the annual report, I presume those are for the entire detachment area?
Yes.
Do we have statistics specifically for Southgate?
So this is a great question, Mayor. And this is something that we've been asking, or I even also asked about an aggregated section for receiving specific to municipality data. So the response that we've been having is that the whole point of having the detachment board was to provide an overall view with regards to how the Grey County, Grey Bruce is being affected as a whole. I did raise the question, actually, that specific question at the last meeting. And the commander did mention that I know that, something along the lines as that I know municipalities want to know what's affecting them most, but kind of if something's happening in one, it's happening in the other. So I do believe if we request specific stats, they will be provided, but going forward, the status quo would be to provide an overall for the Grey Bruce location, which was, I guess they were saying, the point of having a detachment board.
Well, I can appreciate that there's value in having the overall detachment statistics in front of us, but I guess it doesn't do me a lot of good as mayor of Southgate to not know what's going on in Southgate specifically. So I would encourage you to press them harder on that and provide those statistics for the Southgate specifically, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Not seeing any, I'll call the question to receive. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, Monica.
Yeah.
Okay, general announcements. Anybody have anything they wish to share? I will start by saying that we had a great event last night in Dundalk at the United Church regarding the day 4, Truth and Reconciliation. It was a really good event, and thank you to Junction Community Initiatives for their work on that event. Anybody else have anything they wish to share? Okay. Moving on to bylaws. We have three bylaws there, I think. Yes. The debenture bylaw, the 2 debenture bylaws for both Victoria Street and Dundalk Water Tower, and the bylaw to establish and regulate the Dundalk Fire Department, which was spoken to earlier. Someone care to move that, please? Martin, second by Joan. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? That is carried. Okay, we have a closed session today. Be it resolved that council proceed into closed session at, I'm going to say 9:49. In order to address matters relating to litigation or potential litigations, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board, specifically litigation update, and a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, specifically the acquisition of land update, and that all those required remain in attendance. Someone care to move that, please? Jim, second by Joan. All those in favor? That is carried. Let's recess for 5 minutes or so, and then we will convene in camera in the conference room. Okay, we were back in open session and I can report that we only discussed those matters that were listed on the closed meeting agenda. Confirming bylaw. Move that please, Jason and Jim. Thank you. All those in favor? That is carried. One motion left to adjourn. Monica will move, Barb will second. All those in favor?